The 116th Founders Day of People's Vidyalaya Mala-Panaji was marked with excitement and enthusiasm. The event featured the presence of international acclaimed fine artist and sculptor Dr. Subodh Kerkar, who emphasized the importance of fearless self-expression in education. The school also celebrated the achievements of meritorious students from class 10th and 12th, who were felicitated by the principal.
This is my father. My father has a huge role to play in my life because I was in a very small village schools, Pednekeri, Mandre, and some of the schools closed down when I was in the middle of the academic year. So I did not have a very proper school education, and one of my only teachers until the age of 16, from the 6 to 16, was my father, and he had also studied in Wilson College like Daji. He had his master's in literature, but he wanted to be an artist, and he used to paint. And we went for a walk every day for 2 hours, every day from the age of 6 to 16. And those walks were most important to me. Those walks instilled a kind of a dream in me. My father was responsible for doing this. For example, we would walk on the seaside, and my father would tell me, please watch the waves. When the waves break, the surf hurries onto the sand and wets sand. But if you watch very carefully, most of the waves wet the sand which is already wet. And then a big wave comes, rushes ahead and wets new sand. And my father told me, son, in whatever things you do, it is important that you wet new sand. Because in any creative activity, it is important to wet new sand. What is the point in wetting the sand which is already wet? And that is a great lesson I learned from my father. Then he would look at the horizon and tell me, son, your mind should be as vast as this horizon. I think that's one of the most important lessons. The moment you put flaps on your mind, you become absolutely a prisoner of the conditioning. It is important to keep your mind as vast as possible. That's why I am completely against anybody joining any kind of religious fanatic organizations of any religion. Because the moment you join these fanatic organizations, what happens is you basically don't ask questions. Your mind is flat. Some kind of flaps are created and you are told this is right and this is wrong and you follow it. And if you do that, you can never excel in anything. You will always become mediocre because fanaticism, mediocrity and fanaticism mix. Mediocrity is a function of fanaticism. If you want to be mediocre, join these organizations. If you want to become really big and explore new things in your life, you should not join any fanatic organization. That's very, very important. I think the most important purpose of education, is to be fearless and feel free to ask questions. Many times we are told by society, by teachers, by parents, this is right, this is wrong, do this, be proud of your nation, be proud of your religion, or be proud of this, hate these people, hate those people, those are responsible for the bad things in our country. I think it is very important that every individual questions everything. One of my favorite teachers in education is Krishnamurti. And Krishnamurti says that basically you have to leave the world on your own terms. Meaning, you discover the world. The world is given to us, but it is up to us to discover it. And we have to discover it first hand, not take dictates from anybody else. No teachers, no parents, no rest of no priests or padris. We have to discover the world on our own terms fearlessly. And this is only possible when you are fearless. If you have fear of anybody, you will not be able to ask questions. So the most important purpose of education is to equip you with the courage to ask questions, and you should keep asking questions. I was originally a medical doctor. I gave up my medical profession because I loved art, and today for the last 35 years I do art. I basically believe that the only purpose of life is to be happy. There is no other purpose in life. The purpose of life is to be happy, and if you do something which you love to do, there is a possibility that you will be happy. If you do something which you don't like to do, you will be definitely unhappy.
I once landed at the Bangalore airport and as soon as I was going towards the baggage claim, I found a rush in one corner of the airport and everybody was going towards there. I thought it would be either Deepika Padukone or Shah Rukh Khan. So I also rushed so that I could get a glimpse of them. But when I made my way through the crowd, all they were watching was a screen. And on that screen, believe me, it was this land art which was being shown. And it's so beautiful and captivating, somehow very magnetic in the way it was entirely choreographed. And at the end of it, the entire gathering was there. It would be about 50, 60 people, and people were joining them continuously, gave a round applause to that particular piece of art, which is very dynamic in nature. So I was so proud, and I knew that day that we had to invite Dr. Subodh Kerkar to our school for the Founders Day. And it's been 2 years we are trying, and luckily this year he had the time. It's not that he didn't want to, but he was very busy. And this year his time slot did allow him to come to our school. So I would like to personally thank Dr. Subodh Kerkar for accepting our invitation.